Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brendan Gillen. Bonjour, messieurs, dames, je m'appelle Brendan Gillen. Je vous souhaite, au nom de l'Université McGill, la bienvenue à la collation des grades l'automne 2018 pour l'École d'éducation permanente, la Faculté de la médecine dentaire, la Faculté de génie, la Faculté de médecine et la Faculté des sciences. So let me welcome you on behalf of McGill University to the 2018 Fall Convocation for the School of Continuing Studies, the Faculty of Dentistry, the Faculty of Engineering, the Faculty of Medicine, and the Faculty of Science. The ceremony will begin shortly. Dans quelques instants, je vous soulignerai plusieurs moments importants dans le déroulement de la cérémonie. So just a few moments, I'll go over some of the salient points in the ceremony that's about to take place. But let me first ask you to join me in giving a warm round of applause for the Brian Sand Quintet. La cérémonie commencera avec l'entrée du cortège d'honneur et terminera avec sa sortie. À son entrée, je vais vous demander de vous lever. The ceremony will begin with the entry of the platform party and will end with its departure. And just before the platform party enters, I'll ask you all to stand. Une fois le cortège est installé sur l'estrade, ici sur scène, la professeure Anna Maria Popescu chantera l'hymne de l'université. So once the platform party is here on stage, Professor Anna Maria Popescu will sing the university hymn. Le chancelier Michael Meehan, aussi bien que la principale Suzanne Fortier, vous adresseront chacun un bref discours, suivi par l'allocution de Naomi Aziriali, qui aura tout juste reçu son doctorat honoris causa. The chancellor and the principal will each say a few words, followed by the convocation address given by Naomi Azrieli, who will have just received an honorary doctorate. Après la remise des diplômes, le secrétaire général Edita Rogowska prononcera quelques mots de clôture et la professeure Anna-Maria Popescu chantera l'hymne national. So once the diplomas have been conferred, the Secretary General, Edita Rogowska, will say a few words, closing remarks, and Professor Anna-Maria Popescu will sing the national anthem. Le cortège d'honneur partira en premier, suivi par les diplômés en commençant par l'avant et continuant vers l'arrière. So the platform party will leave first, followed by the diploma recipients, who will leave starting with the first row and proceeding towards the last. Maintenant, j'invite le doyen des étudiants, Chris Buttle, à vous informer des mesures de sécurité mises en place dans l'éventualité très peu probable d'une urgence. I now invite the Dean of Students, Chris Buttle, to apprise you of the safety measures that are in place in the very, very unlikely event there's an emergency. Chris.
Well, good morning, everyone. Oh, come on. This is an exciting day. Good morning, everyone. Wonderful. Welcome to the Fall Convocation. As was mentioned, I have the exciting role of telling you about the emergency evacuation procedures. It is exciting. We have to pay attention. Safety first. La Université a mis un point en plan pour faire face à une improbable situation d'urgence. Si une évacuation du lieu devenait nécessaire, le registraire en fera l'annonce. Vous devrez alors quitter la salle sans tarder. Les agents de sécurité et placiers des places des arts vont guider l'évacuation. If an evacuation is required, the registrar will announce this to you. You will be required to leave the venue, and the Place des Arts security and the ushers will guide the evacuation, and you simply need to follow their instructions. If you or a member of your party requires any medical assistance, you can speak to an usher. That's pretty easy. I'm going to finish. I would again thank you for your attention and have a wonderful day, and congratulations to all the students. Before you clap, I don't know why you would clap at a security announcement, but anyway, I'm going to get you to turn your attention to the screen, and there's a very short video to watch, and then things will start right after that. Thank you.
My name is Maria Gracia. I did honors in Latin American Studies and International Development.
My name is Akil Varani and I'm a visual artist and graphic designer based in Montreal.
Je m'appelle Guillaume Drouin-Garneau, je suis ancien de McGill. J'ai gradué en 2012.
Once I graduated, I really wanted to find a way to stay connected with the university. I did some research and found the McGill Women's Alumni Association. It really spoke to me because of their mission to highlight what female grads have been contributing to the community.
Ma participation au sein du club cycliste de McGill, je pense qu'on est une super belle gang, puis encore aujourd'hui, on voit des anciens, des jeunes qui sont étudiants, puis on fait des sorties ensemble, on partage une passion. Donc...
I've spoken at homecoming events, the McGill Young Alumni Association.
How I got involved with the mentor-mentee program with the McGill Alumni Association was actually I was trying to find a way to give my time to McGill.
I definitely recommend any mentorship program, and whether it's having a connection to other people or advice from someone who's been through it.
Through McGill Connect, I was introduced to this global network of McGill alumni who I had something in common with. I made the decision that London, England would be best for me to kickstart my career.
I want to wish the graduating class all the best of luck.
This is the beginning of a very exciting new chapter in your life.
Bonne chance à tous, je vous souhaite du succès dans vos projets futurs. Have fun, enjoy the ride, and be patient.
Let me also give you a brief reminder to put your cell phones on, either turn them off or put them on vibration mode, please. And also during the conferring of the diplomas, please make sure that the aisles remain free. Some people like to come up and take pictures. Please stay back. It's just the students who will be coming up. Thank you. As you can see, a few people are still being seated. We'll start shortly.
So, we have a couple of minutes. I'll tell you a couple stories. You may notice the various beautiful forms of regalia that some of you are wearing. Professor Giller is wearing the McGill colors. There's a lot of stories behind this regalia. What you will see is that on the platform party, many academics will wear the regalia that represents the colors, the regalia from the university from which they received their highest degree. So for example, this is University of Alberta. And McGill has the red and gold. So you'll see different colors, and you can think about the fact that the platform party and the university really represents diversity, and that's exhibited in the regalia as well. Some regalia has chevrons on the side of it. Those chevrons tend to be a bit more typical of American schools as opposed to some Canadian schools. Canadian regalia is quite variable, and there's different kinds of hats as well. The round hats typically represent a PhD. Oh, you're all very attentive. And the mortarboard style typically represent an undergraduate degree. And then the robes and the hoods themselves will represent the different programs of study that students will have achieved as part of the convocation. There's an exam question on this. We're actually very, very close to starting now, so I will thank you again for your attention and for your patience, and we'll get underway probably in less than a minute. Thank you.
Please stand. Levez-vous, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Professor Popescu. Good morning, graduating students, families, and friends. As Chancellor and on behalf of McGill University, I welcome you to the Fall 2018 Convocation Ceremony for students graduating from the faculties of Dentistry, Engineering, Medicine, Science, and the School of Continuing Studies. Bonjour à tous les diplômés, proches et amis. À titre de chancelier et au nom de l'Université McGill, je vous souhaite la bienvenue à la Place des Arts afin de célébrer la cérémonie de collation des grades automne 2018 et de souligner les réalisations des diplômés de la Faculté de médecine, dentaire, génie, médecine, sciences de l'École d'éducation permanente. Chers diplômés, permettez-moi tout d'abord de vous offrir mes plus sincères félicitations. This is a great day for all of you, our graduates. It's an honor to be here and to share this important milestone with you. I have a keen appreciation of the importance of this day and the memories that you will keep with you for the rest of your life. Now, once upon a time when dinosaurs ruled the land, I was sitting in the audience just like you, as part of a graduating class at McGill. And I took much the same journey as you have. Although in my case, I remember calling my friends with a rotary dial phone, writing essays on a typewriter, and taking my graduation photos with a film camera. But some considerable time later, I returned on 2 occasions as the parent of McGill graduates. And like all parents here today, I was beaming with pride. And now as Chancellor, I have the privilege of attending convocation ceremonies each and every year. So you could say I've seen graduation from almost every angle. Whether as a graduate or a parent or as Chancellor, the occasion remains to me a richly deserved celebration of hard work, commitment, sacrifice, and achievement. So bravo and well done to each and every one of you. One of the great old traditions of convocation is for older people, like myself, to offer advice to younger people, like you. And like most older people, I do enjoy giving advice. But I thought this year I'd turn that tradition around and do something different. I think the term is disruptive. The fact is, I think the class of 2018 has a lot of good advice for me and others of my vintage. So I'd like to take this occasion to tell you about some of the things I've learned over the past few years. I've learned that if you have a good idea, you can act on it very quickly. It could be starting a new business venture, or helping your community, or rallying people around a worthy cause. There are many, many examples of this in this audience who've taken action, used social media, crowdfunding, and other tools to make good things happen. I've also learned that traditional fields of study or expertise, or even experience, don't pigeonhole students or restrict their initiatives. On the contrary, our graduates are probably the most connected class in the history of McGill. You routinely reach out across disciplines, fields of study, campuses, the community, and even time zones to meet and collaborate with others. And I've learned that no person or community in need is off limits to the compassion of McGill graduates. You dedicate your time and volunteer your efforts to myriad causes: devastated communities, wrongfully convicted Canadians, environmental challenges, student caregivers, mental health, the plight of the homeless, patients in local hospitals, and your fellow students, and many more. These are great qualities, and I could very easily stop here, say thank you, and sit down. However, as Chancellor, I'm contractually obligated to add my 2 cents. So to these qualities, I'd add a very few traditional and non-disruptive suggestions for your consideration. You may find that even at the speed of the internet, you can run into roadblocks or hurdles, often in the form of rules or process. Those hurdles slow things down and can be really frustrating. Sometimes being patient can just seem like a waste of time, but be patient anyway. Being patient doesn't mean being complacent. It just means taking a longer route to your final destination. Sometimes the desire to achieve a goal or make your voice known can run into opposition or contrary points of view. When you have a strong viewpoint, compromise may be the last thing you want to do, but compromise anyway. Sometimes when you don't get exactly what you want, you get exactly what is required. Compromise isn't perfect, but it sure works. And sometimes the age of social media can render you absolutely furious at the people who shout you down or reduce debate to insults. That can make you so angry you can't imagine showing your enemies any kind of consideration or kindness. But be kind anyway. A world based on escalating anger and intolerance isn't much of a world. Sometimes you have to back away from harsh words and outrage in order to make a better, more compassionate society. Our world needs more, much more, thoughtful discourse, more room for diverse voices, more tolerance and understanding, more kind words, and less rancor. A few years ago, when most of you were starting your journey here, Canadian poets Patrick Lane and Lorna Crozier received their honorary McGill doctorates. Ils ont prononcé leur allocution sous forme de poème et demandé aux nouveaux diplômés: où trouverez-vous maintenant ce qui nourrira votre existence? I think much of what you've learned over the past few years can and will sustain you. Your knowledge, your friendships, your experience, and your connection to McGill. So keep finding ways to share your creativity with others. Do act on good ideas and good intentions. Do keep your hearts open to your friends and supporters here at McGill. And wherever you go in this world, this will always be your home, and we will always cheer your successes and accomplishments. So do stay in touch, not just today, but throughout your journey as a McGill graduate. I hope this day is both a joyous ending and an auspicious beginning for all of you. And thanks very much for the advice you gave me. Merci, bonne chance. J'aimerais maintenant inviter la professeure Suzanne Fortier, principale et vice-chancelière de l'Université McGill, à s'adresser à l'auditoire. Madame Fortier.
Je voudrais souhaiter la bienvenue à tous nos finissants de 2018. Welcome to all graduates of 2018. I'm thrilled to be here today, joined by our Chancellor, the Chair of our Board, our governors, distinguished honorary degree recipients, special guests, awardees, esteemed colleagues, and of course, your family and your friends. Nous sommes réunis ici aujourd'hui pour vous dire à quel point nous sommes fiers de vous. Bravo à vous tous, félicitations, and I want to give all of you a big round of applause. As I was thinking about this day, one word came to mind: return. Now, you may find it a bit strange since you've barely left McGill, but actually, I was thinking of the word return as it is used in the acronym ROI, return on investment. Of course, it's a concept that's usually utilized in the business world, but I believe it does apply also in our everyday life. And what better time than graduation to take a moment to reflect on your investments over the last few years at McGill. As your name is called, as you walk across the stage, I hope that you will celebrate the concrete return that you are receiving on your hard work, your perseverance, and your resilience. But this is just the beginning. The investments you've made, not only in your studies, but also in building lasting friendships, in collaborating with your colleagues, in contributing to your community, or in excelling in activities outside of your formal programs, will reap benefits for you throughout your life. Now, of course, you were not alone making investments. Many have invested in you, your family and your friends, who supported you in your studies, as well as your professors, librarians, university staff. They were all there, playing a big role, rooting for you. So let's give them a big round of applause. There's another kind of return I'd like to talk about. I was introduced to it as I was attending an MBA class here at McGill. It's called ROL, Return on Luck. Now, of course, we know that life brings all of us unexpected turns, some good, some bad turns, turns that are out of our own control, beyond our grasp. We call it luck. What we do with our good luck, how we benefit from it, and more importantly, how we share it so that others benefit too, in many ways, define the course of our lives and the impact we will have on the world. Joanne Liu, président de Médecins Sans Frontières, she's the president of Doctors Without Borders, expressed it, I believe, in a very compelling way when she was conferred another degree by McGill in 2016. You know, of course, that Médecins Sans Frontières offers medical care to people in very difficult situations, people who are in danger. And Joanne said, I work with people who have no choice. And I believe we have to give them our best precisely for this reason, because they have no choice. I don't pick, I don't take, I just give the best I can. There's one last kind of return I'd like to mention. I invented this acronym, I'm very proud. I call it ROR, Return on Respect. It may not always be obvious, but I think that it always pays off to respect all of those around us, no matter what. And as you build your future, always remember that respect is something that all human beings deserve and that all human beings should give others. J'espère qu'en quittant McGill, vous vous souviendrez de tout ce que vous avez appris et que vous le mettrez à l'œuvre afin de façonner un monde meilleur pour vous et pour les autres. La récipiendaire du doctorat honorifique qui est ici avec nous ce matin a contribué de façon remarquable à de nombreux pans de la société et s'est consacrée à aider les autres. Later in the ceremony, we will honor a great Canadian, Dr. Naomi Azrieli, CEO and chair of the Azrieli Foundation and chair of the Brain Canada Foundation. Dr. Azrieli has invested her time, intelligence, and great talents to improve the lives of people affected by mental illness. Dr. Azrieli has distinguished herself by her commitment to giving back, and I hope that she will inspire you all today as you set out to forge your own future. Today, you join the global network of McGill graduates who have made immense contributions to society. And as we prepare to celebrate our 200th anniversary, together we can dream of what we might accomplish in our third century. So please do return to your alma mater. Félicitations, congratulations to you all. Merci.
Merci, Professor Fortier. We'll now proceed with the Teaching Awards presentation. I invite Professor Christopher Manfredi, Provost and Vice Principal Academic, to present this year's winners of the Principal's Prize for Excellence in Teaching. And I invite the winners to please stand when their name is called and join the Principal at center stage. Professor Manfredi.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. The Principal's Prize for Excellence in Teaching was established to recognize excellence and commitment in teaching and to celebrate those who exceptionally demonstrate these qualities. The winners we honor today embody the best in teaching and mentoring. Le prix de la principale pour l'excellence en enseignement a été institué afin de reconnaître l'excellence ou le dévouement en enseignement et de remercier ceux et celles qui, par leur contribution exceptionnelle, symbolisent ces qualités. Les gagnants dont nous soulignons l'apport aujourd'hui incarnent le véritable esprit de l'enseignement et du mentorat. Madam Vice Chancellor, it is my pleasure to introduce to you this year's award winners. When I call your name, please join Professor Fortier on stage to be formally recognized. Madam Vice Chancellor, I present to you Mr. Marwan Kanan. Winner of the Faculty of Engineering's Outstanding Teaching Assistant Award, not once but twice, Mr. Kanan teaches in the departments of Mechanical Engineering and Electrical and Computer Engineering. A gifted instructor, his lectures are concise, comprehensive, thought-provoking, and most of all, never to be missed, I'm told. His abilities are legendary and were recognized in 2014 when he was awarded the Faculty of Engineering's Class of 1890 Outstanding Teaching Award. Like so many great educators, Mr. Kanan understands how students approach problems and adapts to their learning style while guiding them to find solutions to their questions. He has also demonstrated great educational leadership by developing and redesigning courses, as well as his commitment as an advisor for McGill's POW, promoting opportunities for women in engineering. Madam Vice Chancellor, I present to you a gifted educator, Mr. Marwan Kanan, this year's winner of the Principal's Prize for Excellence in Teaching in the category of Course Lecture. Madam Vice Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Sidney Trudeau. Dr. Trudeau teaches in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. In his course evaluations, students praise his extraordinary ability to explain difficult concepts, as well as his kindness and readiness to help. His teaching style is clear and concise, while making every effort to mentor students and help them succeed. Dr. Trudeau inspires a love for mathematics by using theories and examples, and inspires students to discover the beauty of the subject. His course, The Art of Mathematics, generates intense enthusiasm, and he recently published a book entitled The Beauty of Mathematics. Dr. Trudeau has exhibited great educational leadership through his continued involvement in STEM projects to revise freshman mathematics courses, and by bringing McGill to the Montreal community by collaborating with science students to create a series of lectures for high school students. Madam Vice Chancellor, I present to you a truly inspirational teacher, Dr. Sidney Trudeau, this year's winner of the Principal's Prize for Excellence in Teaching in the category of Faculty Lecture. Madam Vice Chancellor, I present to you Professor Nicole Lee Jessen. Professor Lee Jessen teaches in the School of Communication Sciences and Disorders. A talented educator and mentor, she is passionate about teaching and inspires and empowers students well beyond the classroom. Students praise her ability to integrate research into her coursework, whether reporting on the findings of her own research or sharing the results of other studies. This practice emphasizes independent thinking on the part of students and hands-on application of theoretical knowledge. Students commend her for helping them engage in self-reflection, self-care, and personal development. Professor Lee Jesson's innovative approach to teaching, her efforts to enhance the cultural competency of students, and her commitment to community outreach are exemplary. Reflective of her dedication to creating an inclusive learning environment, Professor Lee Jesson is part of the Indigenous Health Professions Program, the Widening Participation Committee, and the Alliance of Professional Programs. Madam Vice Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present to you Professor Nicole Lee Jesson, a most worthy recipient of the Principal's Prize for Excellence in Teaching in the Assistant Professor category. Madam Vice Chancellor, I present to you Professor David Ragsdale. An associate professor in the Department of Neurology and Neurosurgery, Professor Ragsdale is a faculty member at the Montreal Neurological Institute, a member of the Centre for Medical Education and the Faculty Development Office. An outstanding and committed instructor, he has an extensive record of teaching excellence across an extraordinary range of courses and topics. In 2017-18 alone, he taught 10 different undergraduate, graduate, and medical school courses with enrollments ranging from 10 to 967 students. Students consistently praise his clarity and ability to explain even the most complex concepts. His lectures are inspirational, whether the topic is cell biology or neurophilosophy. Dr. Ragsdale's contributions to educational leadership at the institutional level are even more impressive. He has played a key role in the development of innovative curricula for undergraduate and graduate medical students and has made valuable contributions to educational development in the Faculty of Medicine and through his involvement with teaching and learning services. Madam Vice Chancellor, I present to you an extraordinary teacher and a committed member of the McGill community, this year's winner of the Principal's Prize for Excellence in Teaching in the Associate Professor category, Professor David Ragsdale. Madam Vice Chancellor, I present to you Professor Allison Christians. Professor Christians is the H. Stewart Steichman Chair in the Law of Taxation at the Faculty of Law. Her students, past and present, agree that she embodies the very best the university has to offer. They praise her visionary approach to teaching and her innovative and participatory teaching methods. They all agree that her open-door policy is without equal and that it extends from her office to the classroom, where students and colleagues alike are welcome to join in discussions. Professor Christians excels in integrating research and teaching and offers students the opportunity to give direct feedback with actual cases from law firms. Her approach to teaching is original, energetic, and highly entertaining, and she has established an award-winning online profile that has become a model for collaboration and dissemination of knowledge. In 2014, the graduating class selected her as the recipient of the John W. Dumford Award for Teaching Excellence. It is only fitting, then, that the last words come from one of her grateful and admiring students, and I quote, "Professor Christians is simply awesome," unquote. Madam Chancellor, I present to you one of McGill's best and this year's winner of the Principal's Prize for Excellence in Teaching in the full professor category, Professor Allison Christians.
Thank you, Professor Manfredi, and congratulations to this year's winners on their great accomplishments. L'Université McGill est ravie de célébrer les réalisations de Naomi Azrieli. I asked Dr. David Eidelman Vice Principal, Health Affairs, and Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, to present our distinguished guest so that she may have conferred upon her the highest recognition that is within the power of this university to grant. And I ask Dr. Azrieli to join me at center stage for the presentation of the honorary degree. Dean Edelman.
Dr. Naomi Azrieli is the CEO and Chair of the Azrieli Foundation, Chair of the Brain Canada Foundation, and President of CanPro Investments Limited and Amico Investments Limited. Building on her background in business and academia, she has spent the last 15 years focusing on strategic philanthropy, providing a model of what is possible when substantial resources are managed with business best practices, bold vision, and commitment. Dr. Azrieli believes passionately in the critical role of the philanthropic and corporate sectors in building Canada's research community, thereby enabling and supporting programs that help all Canadians thrive and prosper. She is also driven by a belief that the most important challenges in science, education, health, and communities often lie at the boundaries between fields. She has devoted herself to multidisciplinary and collaborative initiatives, and in particular, those that nurture talented people at early stages of their careers. À titre de chef de la direction, elle a fait de la Fondation Azrieli un organisme très respecté auprès de ses homologues, des partenaires de gouvernement et des organisations de première ligne. Dans le cadre d'une récente série d'initiatives destinées à modifier le paysage de la science et de la médecine du cerveau, elle a orienté des investissements de la Fondation dans des organisations universitaires, scientifiques et sanitaires qui mènent des recherches novatrices, offrant un enseignement de qualité en fournissant des soins exceptionnels. She has been the strategic driver behind numerous programs and partnerships, including the Azrieli Fellowships Program, the Holocaust Survivor Memoirs Program, for which she is publisher and senior editor, and the Azrieli Neurodevelopment Research Program. As chair of Brain Canada, she leads a national organization that supports the research and platforms of Canada's most promising investigators, with an approach that cuts across disciplines and aims to break down silos. She has been a passionate advocate for Brain Canada's collaborative public-private approach, building partnerships across the country and encouraging new private sector investments, most notably spearheading an initiative in early career capacity building grants. Dr. Azrieli is a founding member of the Transforming Autism Care Consortium and actively involved with several schools and initiatives for people with developmental disabilities. In 2013, she was awarded the Légion d'honneur Francis Hyatt Award of Merit. Inspired by her late father, David J. Azrieli, and in keeping with the vision of her family, Dr. Azrieli believes deeply that everyone deserves a life lived with dignity, a belief expressed through her advocacy for children and adults with neurodevelopmental disabilities. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Naomi Azrieli so that you may confer upon her the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
I now invite McGill's most recent graduate, Dr. Naomi Azrieli, to address Convocation. Dr. Azrieli.
Thank you very, very much, Chancellor Mann, Principal and Vice Chancellor Fortier, Mr. Panda, Chair of the Board of Governors, Mesdames et Messieurs, bonjour, good morning, everyone, to our proud parents and guests, and most of all, members of the graduating class of 2018. It is a great privilege to be with you today. Je suis très honorée d'avoir l'opportunité de m'adresser à vous et très touchée de recevoir ce doctorat honoraire. This distinction is given in part in recognition of the accomplishments of the organizations I lead, So I want to begin by acknowledging them. First, the Azrieli Foundation, which was established by my late father, David, and is still inspired by his story and his vision. All the members of my family contribute greatly in different ways. My mother, Stephanie, who is here, my sisters, Sharon and Dana, and my brother, Rafi, who is a source of great inspiration. The foundation also benefits from the wisdom of a terrific board of directors, some of whom are here, and the hard work and creativity of a wonderful team. I also want to acknowledge the organization I chair as a volunteer, Brain Canada, which has done so much to support Canada's brilliant brain scientists. Over the last 15 years of my professional career, I have been blessed that my work is meaningful and that I am able to wake up every day aiming to make change and improve lives. Donc je remercie l'ensemble de mes collègues. Mes succès sont aussi les leurs. I am so grateful to the people with whom I work. None of my accomplishments would be possible without them and without my family, and I share this honor with them. C'est votre journée aujourd'hui. Today is all about you, the graduates, about what you've learned and how far you've come by stretching your minds, by gaining new habits of work, and by persevering in moments of self-doubt, confusion, and anxiety. So before I go any further, I add my congratulations, félicitations. There are people here today who have done much to ensure that you made it. People who supported and enabled you, les parents, les professeurs, les amis, et autres soutiens. Et je sais que vous vous joignez à moi pour les remercier. This is their day too. Congratulations, parents and supporters. A graduation signifies an important moment of achievement and a transition in life. And although I have to admit that I have no memory at all of who spoke at the 3 commencements I attended as a student, and as a result, I will not be insulted in the least if you have no memory of me, I do remember vividly what was going on in the world when I marked the achievement of my degrees. At the time of my bachelor's, the world seemed a precarious, explosive place, structured by the Cold War's mutual assured destruction. When I got my master's, the world was witnessing the shredding of the Iron Curtain and the end of the Cold War. The backdrop to my doctorate was the turn of the millennium in 2000, which brought the burgeoning of the internet, the deciphering of the human genome, and the launch of the first mobile telephone, the BlackBerry, beginning a communications revolution. Now, I share my history not to underline just how much has changed in so short a time, but to point out that we are always at the center of our own narratives, and we always have the sense that we are living in momentous times. Nous sommes toujours au centre de nos propres histoires, et nous avons toujours l'impression de vivre dans une période extraordinaire. Be it positive or negative, we usually have the sense that we are living in the most consequential time there has ever been. With hindsight and context, we see perhaps that it was not as unprecedented as it felt. What I would suggest now is that the time we are in, right here, right now, this moment that you are all about to go out into the world, is possibly the most consequential time in history. Now, just how significant a turning point this will be remains to be seen. On va voir. But we are undoubtedly at an historic juncture informed by global changes in technology and climate, economics, and migration. So here are just 3 of several trends that I see. First, in almost every area of our lives, technological innovation is breaking down old systems and structures, and it is doing so in the context of an expanding human population and a dangerous destabilization of climate patterns. Our planet seems to be reaching its capacity boundary. Second, it is no longer clear that the current economic system can deliver sustainability. Until now, our economy has underpinned ever-increasing growth, but now seems to be delivering increasing inequality. Third, We are in an era of mass migration, usually triggered by environmental, political, and economic crises, which can and is leading to conflicts between migrant and resident populations. These trends have led to a resurgence of xenophobia just at a time when we need to work cooperatively if we are to find solutions to these crises. So yes, many generations before us have thought that they were living in extraordinary times, but never before in human history have there been so many of us on Earth, nor have we ever been in possession of such powerful technologies capable of affecting such large-scale change. So as we mark your moment of transition today, I am acutely conscious that this is your context. When you look back 30 years from now, I suspect you will note that when you graduated, the scale of world issues seemed overwhelming. The backdrop was uncertainty. The world was lacking in leadership, indeed, willfully ignorant in the leadership department. In a word, the world was scary. The world backdrop to your graduation is fear. Now, as I was preparing for today, I kept wrestling with the topic of fear. I wondered whether this was an appropriate topic for a commencement address, yet I couldn't shake the responsibility I feel to talk to you about fear and how you might overcome it. It's not a topic that actually gets a lot of attention. And this led me to explore the science of fear, what motivates action and altruism in the context of fear. Now, as most of you may know, scientifically, fear is explained by the fight, flight, or freeze survival response, FFF. In the brain, this response is activated by a small set of neurons called the amygdala, which, among other things, when we feel fear, works to limit activity in another part of the brain where logical thought and rational choices are generated. So, problem solving becomes difficult when we're in a state of fear, which is why when we are afraid, we can become visceral and irrational. Fear also turns on the sympathetic nervous system, and when this happens, our heart rates accelerate, our blood pressure increases, our blood vessels constrict, and we experience all sorts of physical symptoms such as shaking and tunnel vision. We literally can't see beyond ourselves when we are afraid, which is why when we are afraid, we often become indifferent, more self-centered, insensitive, mean. Fear really does terrible things to us. And in an atmosphere of fear, such as the one several world leaders are actively trying to create today, some collective actions and policies seem to mirror individual-scale human behaviors. They are nation-first, intolerant to others, short-sighted, unreasonable, and often just plain stupid and mean. Now, somewhat paradoxically, the sense of fear we have about the terrible state of the world is in part a product of the fact that our brains are not very good at assessing the actual state of the world. As it turns out, we are systematically biased toward perceiving, remembering, and predicting bad things. The brain's main goal, after all, is not to be accurate, it is to survive. And from an evolutionary perspective, focusing on the bad things that might threaten us, which is called a negativity bias, gives us a better chance at survival. And so we pay more attention to bad events. We take in their details and remember them better and longer. Keeping in mind this negativity bias, I decided to look again at major trends today and found three contrasting trends to the ones I spoke of a moment ago. These trends also underscore that we are in an unprecedented time, but from another perspective. Trend number one, the incidence of all types of cruelty and violence in the world has been decreasing for centuries. Deaths by international or civil wars, murder, executions, domestic violence have all been falling persistently over time and all over the world. In every developed country, the homicide rate is a fraction of what it was in medieval times. Trend number two, some research shows that the inequality gap is actually closing, and that we will soon have the ability to meet and exceed the basic needs of every man, woman, and child on the planet. Focusing on the dozens of innovators who are making enormous strides in all the basic areas of human need, It is true that technology is destabilizing, and it is also the source of solutions to the world's problems. Finally, trend number 3 relates to the results of the 2016 World Giving Index, which illuminates the question of altruism and caring in our rapidly changing, fear-filled world. Compiling the results of massive polls from thousands of people in 140 countries, the index looked at levels of engagement in volunteer work, charity, and helping strangers in need. Has the world become more selfish, which is what you would expect? According to the index, the answer is a resounding no. Over half of the world's population reported helping a needy stranger every month. Over 1 billion people donate money to charity, and over 1 billion people volunteer their time every month. Moreover, these numbers have been increasing year to year all over the world. So from this quick contrasting review, it would appear that, relative to any reasonable frame of reference, modern human societies today are more peaceful, healthier, innovative, creative, compassionate, and generous. Yet my initial point stands. The world feels scary, and much evidence demonstrates that the stakes have never been higher. The second review simply suggests that we have also never had more tools at our disposal to address these challenges, and that fear is a critical element in our perspective. There are great opportunities to make a difference, to act on an individual and a collective scale if we can figure out how to do so in the context of fear. And this got me thinking about action, because we know some people act in the face of fear. Indeed, instead of being paralyzed or running away or becoming aggressive, they are mobilized by the situation and try to do something. Some examples come to mind. Someone runs into a burning building to save others without thought to their own safety. Or rescuers during the Holocaust who risked their own lives and those of their family to help Jews. People who act under circumstances of great fear are sometimes called extreme altruists. And I learned that they are an object of great fascination among cognitive scientists. One of the latest hypotheses, for example, is that extreme altruists are actually on the same spectrum as psychopaths. That is, people who have no empathy, feel no fear, and actually cannot recognize expressions of fear on the faces of others. Extreme altruists are on the opposite end of the spectrum. They surpass everyone in detecting expressions of fear. They detect fear, respond quickly, and take action. Extreme altruists do experience fear themselves, but it does not stop them. Now, advanced imaging has shown that the amygdala is at work here too. When an altruistic person sees someone in fear, it elicits the same reaction as seeing a baby in trouble, triggering the impulse to care and protect. We are, it would seem, wired for compassion. And yet, not everyone reacts the way altruists do, and it is natural to wonder why. Why, for example, did some non-Jews engage in rescue acts during the Holocaust at the risks of their own deaths, while others did not? Now, this is a big subject with many facets, but some factors are a heightened sense of empathy, the ability to view the victims as individuals, and education toward independent thinking. But the characteristic that was most important is that rescuers felt competent that they could take action. Taking responsibility required the perception that they could alter events with their own actions, whether or not it was objectively true. They felt that what they did or failed to do mattered. So similar to those who will run into a burning building, they embraced their fear and were motivated by it. Importantly, they were not overwhelmed into thinking that there was nothing that could be done, that they might fail. Now, my exploration of the connection between fear and action and fear and altruism has left me more hopeful than I initially expected. In recognizing and fighting our innate negativity bias and believing that we can influence events, fear can lead to action. Moreover, if we are wired for compassion, then fear itself is not the issue. Rather, it is our response to fear, what we learn to do with it, that matters. And in fact, scientists believe that altruism can be learned and made stronger if one trains the brain to better recognize fear. We can learn to turn fear into action, and it is in action that we find hope. Now, my hope stems mainly from a belief that the solution to the world's problems are unlikely to be found in the system or through governments alone, but rather by the actions of smart, creative, compassionate individuals who believe they can make a difference and who are not afraid to fail. And therefore, one source of hope for me is you. Now, you might think this hope is misplaced or idealistic. I know that in addition to the backdrop of global challenges I outlined, you all have pressing personal issues and needs. You are managing debt. You're on the job search, career paths, dealing with dating. You are quite naturally self-focused and at the center of your own stories. But I also know that the solutions to the profound problems in the world will be found not only in the careers you choose, in what you do to make a living, but in what you do to make a life. Yes, your goal in graduating may be to get a job, but it is equally important to repair the world. In Hebrew, the phrase is tikkun olam, and we can repair a world filled with fear by taking action. Here are 4 ways you can all turn fear into action. The first is that small acts make a difference, or as they say in French, les petits ruisseaux font les grandes rivières. It is easy to feel overwhelmed by all we have to do, by our big challenges, our big goals, and so it is easy to overlook what we can do right now. Your inability to do everything should not weaken your determination to do something. Start small and don't be afraid to fail. Second is give of yourself. Donnez de votre temps. Spend some time when you are not at the center of your own narrative. Volunteer. Interesting fact, volunteers actually live longer than other people, and they also feel pleasure. So you will be doing good, and it will make you feel good in a virtuous loop. 3, collaborate. Allez à la rencontre des autres. Make some of the activities in your professional or personal lives collaborative. It is the dynamic interaction of minds that will push knowledge forward and will lead to solutions to the pressing problems we face. And finally, don't wait for the system. Trouvez les réponses en vous-même. Many answers, many steps to positive progress lie within you. The answers we seek will be found by talented individuals like yourselves who engage, collaborate, and give back. Now, of course, governments and other systems must play a role, and with greater resources than any individual or small group can muster. But the spark and the map does not have to come from there, and most likely will not. My message then is that the world is counting on you, your talent, your action, and your engagement. As a well-known saying from a famous 18th century rabbi goes, the world is like a very narrow bridge. As you go on your journey, the most important thing is not to be afraid. When I began today, I acknowledged what a great privilege it is to be here. And I am acutely aware that I stand before you as a person of privilege. From this position, I have aimed to make a difference, to give back, to overcome my own myriad fears, and to act with compassion, gratitude, and generosity whenever I could. Completing a McGill degree now puts you in a privileged position. Whatever brought you to McGill, you worked hard to get to where you sit today, and you now have the benefit of an amazing education and a degree from McGill. And so I'll conclude by asking you, what are you going to do with your privilege? How will you learn to turn fear into action, into hope? The answer you find just may repair the world. Thank you. Félicitations again. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Azrieli. Thank you for those thoughtful and inspirational words. We'll now proceed with the conferral of academic degrees. Nous allons inviter, dis-je, le professeur Christopher Manfredi, vice-principal exécutif et vice-principal aux études, à entreprendre le déroulement officiel de la cérémonie. Professor Manfredi.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. McGill University's fall convocations are university-wide ceremonies where graduates from many faculties come together to celebrate as one. This morning, I am pleased to invite students graduating from the faculties of Dentistry, Engineering, Medicine and Science, the Ingram School of Nursing, the School of Physical and Occupational Therapy, and the School of Continuing Studies for the conferral of degrees, diplomas, or certificates. This is a truly joyous event in the cycle of a university's life, particularly at McGill, where we have such talented and accomplished students. Each student crossing the stage this morning will be greeted by the Chancellor, the Principal, or the Chair of the Board of Governors. Students receiving their first degree shall remove their mortarboard or hat. At center stage, they will be symbolically capped, signaling ceremonially the conferral of the degree. Students who have already earned a university degree keep their mortarboard on and will be congratulated by a tap on the shoulder. The parchment or degree itself is given to students after they have a photo taken and leave the stage. You may see some students wearing red or white scarves. All self-identifying Indigenous students, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis, are entitled to wear graduation scarves at Convocation, in the community, and at any and all future McGill events that they attend. The red scarf is for those receiving a degree, and white for those getting a diploma or certificate. The feather has two meanings: respect for the person and the mark of an amazing or special event. The Confederacy belt signifies attachment to and respect for the land on which we live, and the turtle symbolizes the inclusiveness of all nations and respect for diversity. It is fitting that we recognize our Indigenous graduates in this way, just as we recognize that McGill University is on land which long served as a site of meeting and exchange amongst Indigenous peoples. We acknowledge and thank the diverse Indigenous people whose presence enriches this territory on which peoples of the world now gather. En vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés par le Sénat de McGill, je déclare que les candidats dont le nom figure sur la liste officielle des diplômés de l'université, qu'ils soient présents ou absents, ont satisfait aux exigences de leur grade, diplôme ou certificat respectif. By virtue of the powers conferred upon me by McGill Senate, I declare that the candidates whose names appear on the university's official list of graduates, whether they be present or absent, have satisfied the requirements for their respective degrees, diplomas, or certificates. By tradition at McGill, we begin with students receiving graduate degrees, followed by students obtaining undergraduate degrees. I now invite Professor David Ragsdale to present the graduates and the deans of the faculties or their delegates to congratulate all graduating students. Congratulations, class of 2018. Félicitations.
For the certificate and diplomas in the School of Continuing Studies, for the graduate certificate in Human Resource Management, Ferdinand Chakoth Edimo. For the graduate certificate in Legal Translation, Soumaya Jahangiri. Graduate certificate in Professional Accounting, Karine Tamon. Thi Thu Ha Tran. For the Diploma in Applied Marketing, Asal Bakhtiari. Avery Beliciario, Dean's Honor List. Stephanie Dubernard. Karen Martinez Arias. Heba Yassin Mohammed. Hagar Namli. Shin Ni. Saman Taheri. Kasira Thong Pitak. For the diploma in Integrated Aviation Management, Luis D. Tulio. Marcellus Mohan Ganesh. Mara Gianna Regina Keller. Mohammed Manhim. Dilin Therese Nguyen Quang. Lionel Simon Perrier. Wenbo Tao. Jun Wei Yang. For the Diploma in Management in General Management, Zildiz Koryova. Ilham Akhtal. For the Diploma in Public Relations and Communications Management, Marian Rafat Aziz. Farida Badrawi. Maria Paula Bello. Marie Bernard Brindamore. Victoria Anna Gratkowski. For the Diploma in Supply Chain and Operations Management, Johanna Andrea Selly. For the Certificate in Accounting, Jocelyn Mangahis Aquino. For the Certificate in Applied Marketing, Rosa Agazzino. James K. Baker. Harry Bijan, Dean's Honor List. Erica Del Greco. Robert Giancola. Edwin Leoisa Martinez. Lindsay Jacques Moran Delcourt. Virginia Tarosian. Sukiana Zinbar, Dean's Honor List. For the Certificate in Human Resources Management, Elena Ng. Nishi Raman. For the Certificate in Management, Stephanie Fortier-Grandin. Jacinthe Anne Linto. For the certificate in Public Relations and Communications Management, Mark Osilio. Tessa Desir. Alexander DiMeglio. Alexia Enzabati, Dean's Honor List. Katrina Hechanova. Sarah Niosel. Jessica Stephanie Principal. Allison Sanchez. Vanessa Taggart. Yulia Terieva. For the certificate in Proficiency English for Professional Communication, Claudia Marcela Cifuentes Moreno. Martine Dornaval, Dean's Honor List. Abdeluid El Kawi. Natalia Escobar Pinzon. Paula Marisa Magitoso. Freddie Alexander Osorio Cordoba. Brigitte Zimena Para Hernandez. Alain Polinis. Soroush Sadoui. Patricia Stanich. Kiana Zolfagari. For the Certificate of Proficiency in English, Language and Culture, Kautar Hassan Ahmed. Saman Barjaste del Foruz. Simeon Bloch, Dean's Honor List. Tahana Mohammed Abbas. Eglatina Danitza Campos Villalobos. Yu Chen. Anne Claire Delmont, Dean's Honor List. Zuleika Sofia de Alba Nunez. Andy Stephen Edzo Nkili. Monica Rosanna Fondevilla Coupe. Theo Maxence Guillot. Laura Leana Hader Vega, Dean's Honor List. Lena Ilmain. Adil Kabil Rochdi. Masaki Kishimoto. Ibrahim Omar Bareyan. Jamel Megrurech. Rita Norala. Christian Andres Obregon Mitma, Dean's Honor List. Marina Ramalho Fontanel. Jan Emmanuel Romain. Ekaterina Slutskaya. Marehao Tang. Sarah Valeria Teo Garcias. For the Certificate of Proficiency, French for Professional Communication, Diana Paula Alvarez Bautista. Leah Christine Capitano. Michelle Renee Genoa. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Craniofacial Health Sciences, Srinath Arikunath Madathil. Garthiga Manikam. For the degree of Master of Science in Dental Sciences, Alam Abdanabi. Nia Agarwal. Mang Shin Ma. Mohammedaman Najirad. Wafa Ibrahim Safur. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Civil Engineering, Muhammad Matalebi Nazrabadi. Violetta Nicoledu. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical Engineering, Syed Qasim Ali. Martine Chlela. Mohammed Fakhrul Alam Chowdhury. Hanwook Chung. Farzana Mavashi Mahamadi. Mernush Tagi Boru Jerdi. Renji Wang. Di Wu. Jia Shin Yang. Fei Zhang. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering, Payman Karimi Eskandari. Neda Latifi Alavije. Mehdi Ruzeger. Han Shu. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Mining and Materials Engineering, Cheng Chen. Maria Fernanda del Castillo Suarez. Hao Ma. Samuel Filgueres Rodriguez. Martha Emily Villalba Matamoros. For the degree of Master of Architecture in Urban Design and Housing, Mazdak Mojedi. Jose David Gomez Zia. Ehsan Hatami. For the degree of Master of Architecture in Architectural History and Theory, Sayed Saeed Afghan. Mirsa Armand. Kostav Ghosh. Alexander Mark Kinney. Yu Wen Zhang. Zara Abu Talebi. Afruz Shagunian. Xin Yi Deng. Jordana Ibgi. Sayeda Madea Kalegi. Sumit Arun Kulkarni. Masa Malzayani. Nargiz Nasser Esfahani. Onur Yücel. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Aerospace Engineering, Amoga Visveswara Subramanya. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Chemical Engineering, Jasmine de Campos. Junwei Ma. Mitchell Thomas McNall. Sogol Nirumandrad. Sanya Kamran Siddiqui. Sima Ahmad Ali Dokt. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Alexandra Kasperzik. Andrea Mario Giuseppe Leone. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Electrical Engineering, Alvin Chan. Benam Jamali. Ruchika Kumar. Tejaswini Lichdumin. Nikesh Muthakrishnan. Tanya Nair. Ashish Ravichander. Dylan James Watts. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering, Marc René Etienne Benoit. Lei Shi Chen. Romain Laurent Chiapinelli. David Thomas Hutema. Priyatharsan Ipur Rajasekar. Ali Tfeli. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Mining and Materials Engineering, Richard Bertram Church. For the degree of Master of Urban Planning, Sadhana Carrier Donez. David Anthony Chaney. Cecilia Cobb. Danielle Jane Kerrigan. Miranda Kate Ozowitz Sculthorpe. Andrea Shilolo. Olivia White. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical Engineering, Jenny Chu-Cheng Tsu. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Hamza Al-Kashat. Daniel Mark Benaroch. Jezreel Noel Del Agua. Dan Delcy. Jae-won Lee. Kartik Paranik Karkala. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Engineering Regular Program, Isabel Rosemary Leon Ariz. Angus McLean. Danan Ilham Wikaksono. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Materials Engineering Co-op Program, Pablo Andres Davila. Sean Lavoie. Noel Saman. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering Honors Program, Ji Hyun Kim. Ilyas Lucas Hurley, Dean's Honor List. Melissa Rachel Light, Distinction. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering Regular Program, Yu Jun Wang. Simone Kiboy Tara. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering in Mining Engineering Co-op Program, Nicholas Chmelowitz. John Andrew Gage. David James Kimmett. Maria Linka Muko. Avtar Pandayasala Vijayakumar. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Engineering, Ian Jesse Girard. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Communication Sciences and Disorders, Sarah Colby. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Experimental Medicine, Ibrahim Yassin Hashim. Shiva Safavi. Alyssa Lillian Smith. Jun Tian. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Experimental Surgery, Saber Gadakzadeh. Eni Nano. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Family Medicine, Chuan Na Hung. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Human Genetics, Catherine Argirio. Renata Helena Bahaus. Karine Choquet. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing, Melanie Berube. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Psychiatry, Gerald Jordan. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Rehabilitation Science, David Emeka Enekwe. Danielle Mary Dobney. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Biological and Biomedical Engineering, Aman Garg. Rosalie Martel. Sa Xiao. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Biomedical Engineering, Sethu Kovendem Bhupathi Jagathambal. For the degree of Master of Science in Biostatistics, Jungya Wang. Xiao Yu Wei. For the degree of Master of Science in Communication Sciences and Disorders, Lisa Martignetti. For the degree of Master of Science in Epidemiology, Lingri Meng. Jean-Paul Riker Susi. For the degree of Master of Science in Experimental Medicine, Fatma Fahad Al-Habib. Roxanne Asaf. Anushri Dava. Simone Millette. Ju Yoon Park. Sangmi Sarah Park. Rika Vaishnavi Ravindra Kumar. Victoria Beatrice Rudman. Holly Sarvas. Ildi Troka. For the degree of Master of Science in Experimental Surgery, Tahira Baloch. Diana Luk Yi. For the degree of Master of Science in Family Medicine, Kathleen Michelle Anderson. Thomas Bertrand. Julia Lynn Elaine Krylock. Stephanie Long. Nina Mamishi. Niku Merati. Matteo Peretti. Sofia Inez Seidlakowski. Caitlin Stoddart. For the degree of Master of Science in Human Genetics, Laura Michelle Fulner. For the degree of Master of Science in Medical Radiation Physics, Julia Albers. Vincent Turgeon. For the degree of Master of Science in Otolaryngology, Iman El-Sabe Ibrahim. For the degree of Master of Science in Pathology, Sarah Saeed Al-Ghamdi. Swati Parikh. For the degree of Master of Science in Psychiatry, Megan Lisa Barrett Bernstein. Tamara Cassis. Maria Farella. Timothy Hadgis. For the degree of Master of Science in Public Health, Simone Watson Santerre. For the degree of Master of Science in Applied Communication Sciences and Disorders, Ariel Barrett Brown. Karen Bachelor. Yasmin Hussein Beydoun. Jessica Davidson. Laura Emily Evans. Chloe Danielle Froelich. Alexi Gendron. Adriana Teresa Gentile. Megan Alexandra George. Stacy Lee Grierson. Joanna Elizabeth Gruber. Sarah Ann Jacques. Nicholas Jimenez. Lisa Marie Kuhlman. Sujin Lim. Jenna Simone Mackay. Chelsea Osei. Christine Pennell. Sarah Perillo. Jessica Marley Ryder. Milana Schipper. Megan Tiller Smith. Ishi Zachariah. For the degree of Master of Science in Applied Nursing, Azam Habibi Markani. For the degree of Master of Science in Applied in Occupational Health Sciences, Ru Zhe Pan. Mengting Xu. For the degree of Master of Science in Applied Physical Therapy and Applied Physical Therapy, Mila Beauvais. Benoit Binet. Janet Chan. For the Graduate Diploma in Clinical Research, Danielle Cassis Akal. For the degree of Doctor of Medicine and Master of Surgery, Isabel Richard. For the degree of Bachelor of Nursing, Lawrence Jean-Francois. Isabelle Lauzon, Dean's Honor List. Chloe Marie Sarouf. Joseph Connor Vanderslies. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, John Drake Arnett. Bianca Bagg. Yael Bassat Pinto. Catherine Beauvais Lacasse. Erica Pierre Coron Brulot, Dean's Honor List. Tracy Cordero. Sandra Irene Cowie. Elise Marie Kucha, Dean's Honor List. Liana Marie Curial, Dean's Honor List. Haley Netta Duncan Snobble. Talasia Elise Izenga. Denis Elas. Alex Lee Amond. Nahal Siraj Fansia. Pearson Education in Canada Book Prize, Dean's Honor List. Fernando Andres Vicina. Xin-Ning Fu. Sharon Gopal. Matthew James Goody. Chin Chin Hu. Matthew Roland Jette. Betty Star Campayana. Ashley Corey. Evelyn Kim. Karina Kushner. Carrie Jia Li Lam. Elsa Landa Verde. Jimmy Lee. Tien Nan Le Don, distinction. Jong Sun Lee. Sandrine Lemieux Briere, distinction. Wendy Wan Yi Liu. Vivian Luong. Leslie Margaret Maiden. Charlene Grace Khalud Mamaril. Jessica Marinello, distinction. Stephanie Moore, distinction. Marilyn Morand, Dean's Honor List. Pooja Patel, distinction. Megan Pereira Oliveira. Marielle Julianne Perot. Jessica Pinney. Emily Roberge, distinction. Tamar Hadar Sawatsky. Jacob Shannon. Haley Smith. Ji Young Son. Pia Sumli. Tharanaya Valipuram, Dean's Honor List. Marie Petra Vicuna. Sydney Vincelette. Hong Dien Vo. Mary Jenna Tham Na Wan Chun Hua. Bing Yi Wang. Sophie Wang. Yifan Wang. Dennis Duo Yang. Tessa Yi Sui Shun. Jing Yu. Leah Zipagan. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Biochemistry, Sylvia Anders-Juski. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Biology, Veronique Brul. Maria Jose Cabrera Alvarez. Trina Du. Jun Tao Hu. Christian Lee Schulist. Jia-Chi Sun. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry, Kenneth Virgil Esguerra. Robert Wilson Harkness. Vanja Pollock. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Earth and Planetary Sciences, Alexander Timofeev. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Mathematics and Statistics, Bilal Abbasi. Marie Pierre Cote. Orla Aislinn Murphy. Artur Tomberg. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Microbiology and Immunology, Sahar Begerzadeh Yazchi. Shringar Rao. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Neuroscience, Liam Miles Craper. Ronan Vinicius da Silva. Philip Jeffrey Dickinson. Andrew David Kaplan. Sarah Faith Rosen. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physics, Susan Amin. Sebastian Prince. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology, Émilie Auger. Émilie Bernard. Anna Lee McKinnon. Sarah Kelly Quinn. Dorothy Shoemaker. Jilla Kim Shapiro. Jane Zhang. For the degree of Master of Science in Atmospheric and Oceanic Sciences, Natalia Bliankenstein. For the degree of Master of Science in Biochemistry, Ala Abdelgader Fathadin. Thupten Tsering. For the degree of Master of Science in Biology, Kirsten Crandall. Russell Anderson Milne. For the degree of Master of Science in Chemistry, Patrick Brousseau. Thomas DiNardo. For the degree of Master of Science in Computer Science, Ozan Siga. Shuonan Dong. Mansha Imtayaz. Ramchalam Kinatinkara Ramakrishnan. Charles Chijioke Ono. Jaspal Singh. Chuk Chun Seo. For the degree of Master of Science in Mathematics and Statistics, Pavel Slavinov Slabchev. Mengtian Zhang. Andrei Slodchevsky. For the degree of Master of Science in Neuroscience, Daniel Cohen. Chloe Guinodi. David Levy. Laurie Shabazian. Stephanie Tullo. Edwin Wang. For the degree of Master of Science in Physics, Jessica Churchill. Megan Cowie. Matthew Ramin Hamedani Heffernan. Tariq Hassan. Isabelle Vierrouge. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Anatomy and Cell Biology, Zachary Burak. John Duncan McDougall. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Atmospheric Science, Valentina Glazatov. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry, Eric Yu. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biology, Justin Giuseppe Cafaro. Easton Eve Cannon Houle, BSc Global Designation, Dean's Multidisciplinary Undergraduate Research List. Sydney Blaine Ross, distinction. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, Joseph Joy Sefakis, distinction, first-class honors in chemistry. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Rivu Koda. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Biology, Ching Chia Wang. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Earth and Planetary Sciences, Zachary Raymond Kowalski. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environment, Bailey Lynn Fedderson, Dean's Multidisciplinary Undergraduate Research List. Aaron Jeffries. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Immunology, Christopher O'Hare Frere, distinction, first-class honors in immunology. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, Vithushan Thayalan. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Microbiology and Immunology, Eric Bloane. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Neuroscience, Nicholas Trudell Mallet, distinction. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Pharmacology, Yon Ezerzer. Lucia Moron. Ajoy Jose Paul. Arbab Mohammed Shah. Michaela Marie Skurlak. Bak Kao Vu. Li Zhe Zhao. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physics, McLean Carter Rubel. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physics and Computer Science, Connor Christopher Stephen Peltz. Yashin Prince Taher. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physiology, Soraya Neptune. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Kayla Horowitz, first-class honors in psychology. Sabrina Martel. Palwasha Amar Rana, distinction. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering, Arunan Chelan. Ilan Mamontov. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Science, Ricardo Uriel Chefek-Ciocchiano. Dean's Multidisciplinary Undergraduate Research List, First Class Honors in Cognitive Science. Christine Binlam Gannon. Madeline Simone Kenwood, Honors in Cognitive Science. Yon Tudor Mititulu. Ashvin Pradhan Shenoy. Saqib Abrar Rasul. Jamie Turin Tabatsnik, for Distinction First Class Honors in Cognitive Science. Jeremy Ullman. Reed James Waldick.
Thank you, Professor Ragsdale, for doing a great job in reading the graduating students' names. Will the graduating class please stand? Je demande à tous les diplômés de se lever. In my capacity as Chancellor of McGill University, I declare and confirm that each of you is now entitled to the distinction of the degree, diploma, or certificate that has been conferred upon you, with all the honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities that are pertinent thereto. À titre de chancelier de l'Université McGill, je déclare et confirme que chacun de vous a maintenant le droit à la distinction de grade, diplôme ou certificat qui vous a été conféré, avec tous les honneurs, droits, privilèges et responsabilités qui y sont rattachés. Félicitations, congratulations. The Secretary General, Ms. Edita Rogovska, will now make a few closing remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Dear graduates, in closing today's ceremony, I'd like to leave you with a few words from the late Stanley B. Frost, a McGill professor, university administrator, and historian, who in his work on the history of McGill says the following: "Traditions are hard to come by, but once established, they are remarkably enduring. The university has been fortunate that the tradition was early established, that McGill is not merely an institution, but a community in which bonds of affection are strongly woven, so that a sense of belonging to McGill need not end with graduation, but can be a lifelong experience. J'espère que les liens d'amitié que vous avez établis à McGill seront avec vous longtemps et feront partie de ce que vous allez faire, tant au niveau personnel que professionnel, que ce soit ici à Montréal, au Canada ou ailleurs dans le monde. Et le monde vous attend et compte sur vos contributions. Bonne chance et félicitations.
Merci, Madame la Secrétaire générale. Pour conclure la cérémonie, veuillez vous lever afin d'entonner en compagnie du professeur Anna Maria Popescu, l'hymne national du Canada. To conclude the ceremony, please stand and join Professor Anna Maria Popescu in the singing of our national anthem.